the printouts can be done with this.
And that's why she just done one copy.
One copy is enough.
And then
bring whatever she's printed. The rest can share it.
Just apologize for the delay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they came quite on time. I'm surprised they came quite on time.
Is that 2 cents?
How is this flowing? With this type of mine, so that is flowing. Or is it the same?
It's nice to be able to turn and read.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, same.
And it's not like that.
It's the same.
So we just started.
Yeah.
I think, does that have something to do with the thing?
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press of the Fourth Estate. My name is Mohammed Wanyoike. I'd like to apologize for the delay. We were doing some consultation this morning, but we'll be able to get on the business of the day shortly. I'd like to introduce my colleagues who are with me here. I'll start with Shazmin Manji, and the Vice Chairman of CATA. Dr. Joseph Kithito, a Director in charge of Finance. And behind here, Patrick Ngodho, Shilane, and Tracy Scott, all those are directors. And on the extreme left behind is Agnes Mushuha, the CEO of CATA. I'd like to start by reading the statement for CATA, on behalf of CATA, and I'd like to thank you for coming. Today I'd like to provide a few updates on the current impact of coronavirus on the travel industry in Kenya. As I begin my statement, I would like to extend my condolences to families who have lost their loved ones to this coronavirus across the world. The coronavirus has caused unprecedented disruption in the aviation and travel industry, leading to cancellation of flights and rescheduling of passengers' travel in the recent months. We have also observed cancellation of major international events and conventions, leading to major decline in passenger numbers and revenue for travel agents in Kenya and the airline thereof. Early indications show that there was a decline of 6% in travel bookings for February and 10% to date in March in Kenya. We are expecting this number to continue to increase in the short term as travel restrictions come into effect to key markets and destinations, as witnessed to China, South Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Italy. Governments, corporates, NGOs, and traders, and travelers in general are currently considering non-essential travel globally, hence impacting on the above intercontinental travel. However, intra-Africa travel appears to remain stable. I believe this is because there's been no reported fatalities in Africa. We anticipate that the travel restriction and advisory to be temporary measure to help contain the novel coronavirus. The travel agents have continued to provide factual information and support to travelers who have booked their travel by guiding them on the available options on their travel bookings. The travel agents are assessing the booking on a case-by-case basis and providing recommendation for either rebooking, rerouting on the itineraries to alternative destinations and to alternative travel dates. So travel agents are also offering the option of cancellation or pre-booked travel arrangements. The airlines and the travel agency relationship ensures that travel agents receive reliable, timely, and factual information that they disseminate to their travelers. This situation where airlines have cancelled online flight operation the travel agents have come in handy towards providing the booking options to the traveler with a high level of efficiency. We are therefore calling upon our travelers to engage directly with Qatar certified travel agents for them to receive a credible, factual, and reliable information to guide on their travel decision presently and in future. We are pleased to note that IATA accredited airlines operating in Kenya have continued to conform with the highest level of passenger safety standards as guided by IATA and WHO. And the travel agents are also adhering to the guidelines issued by WHO on ensuring that the safety and health of travelers. These guidelines are being shared with travelers as they plan to undertake their travel. We recognize the measures that WHO and CDC have put in place to slow down the further spread and impact of the virus. And we wish to reaffirm to our travelers that all precaution measures are being undertaken in order to not to put travelers at risk. The government of Kenya has been preparing for coronavirus and we are following closely on the mitigation measures they have put in place. We strongly recommend to the travelers to engage directly with the travel agents for clarification, additional information on the airlines. At this stage, we wish to highlight that there are numerous fake stories that are circulating on social media domain, and these are not founded on any facts or data, and they are contributing to a lot of misinformation to travelers, leading to unnecessary anxiety. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of my statement, and I'd like to ask either my colleague if they want to make a comment before we receive questions. No comment?
I think it's just to say thank you, and I'm so pleased to see the turn-up. It's quite a good one, and we are looking at our country where we're passionate. We all believe this is the country we live in, and the country that we work for, and the issue that is affected at hand is key and critical to all of us. So we appreciate that you have turned up just to get factual statement from the association as far as the travel industry is concerned. Thank you.
Just yesterday, my name is Sarah Kimani from the South African Broadcasting Corporation. Just yesterday, the Kenyan government announced a suspension of flights from Italy, two main cities in Italy. How will that affect your earnings and also the industry in general, the tourism industry especially, considering the place of the Italians in the tourism industry?
The suspension of these flights doesn't impact the the revenues of travel agents based in Kenya specifically. These are charter flights which originate from Italy. It obviously has a big impact on our tourism and the Malindi area specifically, but we don't have exact information. We refer you to the Kenya Tourism Federation for more information on that.
Would you have preferred that the government consult, the Kenyan government consult with you, especially when it is making these decisions on whether suspension of flights should take place on any route, whether Italy, China?
I think the government is making a decision based on information, and I believe the government has got a lot of channels of information. In the decision they make, they have taken a holistic approach, and therefore we accept that decision, because the biggest challenge right now is to contain the spread of the virus. Therefore, we support that decision. Because
the earnings in percentages, but in real figures, in money, how much in shillings or dollars?
It's difficult to estimate at this point. As we say, these are charter flights, and the revenue they bring into Kenya are hotel bookings. So we are yet to be able to estimate how much. But we know that there have been two flights. There have been two charter flights per week. So you can imagine the number you are looking with those two charters, maybe 400 packs. So there will be a dent on revenue, but I think the government is concerned right now on the human life and to be able to contain the spread.
Sorry? We will share a copy of the statement as a press. Reread it.
Okay. So for those people who are with us, can you?
Sorry, there's a question.
Okay.
So you will
So just
bear
tell
with
us when you're ready.
Yeah.
For everyone, yeah.
Mr. Mohammed, I was asking, when you were giving the statement,
Yes.
you talked about shedding 6% in February.
In February, and what, 10%
up to now.
Up to now.
Yeah, but
That
how
is.
much is that in terms of money?
If you take, what is our BSP?
Yes, we're about $500 million.
And it's based on size? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a decline in passenger bookings.
Yeah,
In passenger bookings.
it's not monetary number. It's in terms of that. It's the traffic.
And it depends on the traffic where it was going. Could be Nigeria or. Yeah. Okay, if you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, it's a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
You will Swahili.
Asante.
I give you the Swahili version.
So you ready? Okay.
Let us come back to questions.
I think let's deal with that question after we finish the read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because definitely we don't know when it's going to be arrested.
So, are you ready? Okay. It's now you to start.
Yeah.
So they're ready, I think. Okay. Chair.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the fourth estate. My name is Mohammed Onyoke. I am the chairman of Qatar. I'd like to introduce my colleagues here. On my left is Vice Chair Shazmin Manji. On my right is Dr. Joe Kipito, is Director in charge of Finance. And behind me, I have Patrick. On my left, Shilane and Tracy Scott. And lastly, the CEO of Qatar, Agnes Mushuha. Today, I'd like to provide a few updates and on the current impact of coronavirus to the travel agents in Kenya. As I begin my statement, I'd like to extend my condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones to this.
All right, you're watching a live press conference from Nairobi, Kenya. The travel industry, explaining the impact of the novel coronavirus on the actual industry. And we're hearing about cancellation of flights, the suspension of flights from Italy as well. Major international events have been cancelled, we're told. And so there's this drop in revenue, which is, affecting the industry. We heard that there's about a 6% decline in terms of travel bookings in February and about 10% in terms of the travel bookings in March. And government in Kenya is preparing for the novel coronavirus, we're told, and that the travel industry is following very closely the mitigating strategy that will be, taken on board by the Kenyan government in order to curb the impact of novel coronavirus. It's having a huge impact around the world. We're talking about over 90,000 cases globally, mainly in mainland China, over 3,000 deaths so far, and the vast majority here, as we're told, is in mainland in China. In Italy, Italy has reported a 50% jump in deaths of the novel coronavirus in the past 24 hours, and with the total we're told about now, as it stands, is 79. Most of the fatalities are in Lombardy. Meanwhile, the total number of confirmed novel coronavirus cases in the U.S. state of Washington has now risen to 27.